Hi, welcome to the third episode of Seaweed Saturdays. Today we're going to talk about why seaweed gives us hope. I think it's really important to talk about it, especially this year, considering it's been so shit and the COVID pandemic has, in general, thrown everyone off their feet. But the reason we are so hopeful about seaweed is because it actually has a lot of potential for the future. So, for starters, seaweed is a really exciting regenerative business. So, what this means is that if you look at conventional fisheries, it's very exploitative in nature. And a lot of land based businesses are also very exploitative in nature. For example, the fossil fuel industry, where it's just extractive and it doesn't put anything back. And quite often it results in the planet using more of its resources than actually regenerating any. But seaweed is quite different because what you can do is you can grow seaweed farms and you can reforest a lot of the oceans and you can actually leave it better than what it was before. So that's a really exciting reason. Another really cool thing about seaweed is that because it's so good for you, you sort of tend to feel, okay, fine, this is another fad food that I should be interested in, like my turmeric lattes and my exotic powders from the Amazon. But the amazing thing about seaweed is that it's not only good for you, but it's also very low carbon. And the reason for this is that seaweed doesn't grow on land, it grows in the ocean. So it doesn't require large tracts of land that needs to be deforested. It doesn't require large amounts of water for irrigation, and it doesn't require fertilizers. What it does is require certain amounts of open ocean, and this, along with sunshine, is what it takes to grow seaweed. So, pretty much nothing. And that's why it actually is really low in carbon and it's one of the most low carbon foods currently. And a third reason why we are super excited and hopeful with seaweed is because it has the potential to redistribute wealth when it comes to coastal communities. So, a lot of coastal communities are quite stuck in the current fisheries scenario where it's very exploitative and they don't get a price that is suitable for them. But with seaweed and with training coastal communities on how to farm seaweed, there could be a possibility for them to own their own farms, to set their own price, and to be very part and parcel of how seaweed is priced along the entire supply chain. This is, of course, incredibly hopeful and will require a lot of conversation, but there are companies such as Green Wave that has been training a lot of farmers how to grow seaweed farms, and it's actually been really economically beneficial for those fishers and farmers. So, just to recap, the reasons why we are really hopeful about seaweed is one, it's a regenerative business, two, it really is good for you, but it's also really good for the planet, and three, it has the potential to help coastal communities have a better stronghold over their own businesses if policy is designed in an equitable way.